Happy Monday. Hope all of you had a great weekend, especially those of you at tournaments, because we're going to be talking about tournament prep today. I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes to hop on. Do my usual chat pop out. Boom. We will give you all a few minutes. If you are popping on, go ahead and comment in the chat box with where you are. Where are you? What are you doing? How's your life? What's your life for? If you're watching the recording, you could probably skip forward like 5 minutes and you'll find us doing our thing. Give you guys a couple more minutes. Hello. Hi, friends. I know, we're on Mondays now. Don't get confused. I moved us to Mondays. All right. We're going to get this party started. If you are watching live, comment in the chat box. And we're going to do it. What's up, my friends? Chrissy Crash here, and today we are talking about tournament prep. The season is officially upon us. We are officially in tournament season. This is officially the time when everyone starts working so hard, getting mentally, physically, emotionally ready for these big games that mean so much. And it can be really stressful. And so one of the things that I think happens for a lot of skaters is we try to, I say it all the time, you can't cram for roller derby, right? We think, oh, I've got this tournament coming up, or oh, I've got this minimum skills test coming up. I got to do as much as I can this week to get ready for it. But the reality is, it was the months leading up to it that were the most important, my friend, not the week leading up to it. So I wanted to walk you through some things that you can be doing the week of a tournament. Now, mind you, these also apply to maybe the week of a minimum skills test or the week of a tryout. All of this stuff, I think it's leading up to anything that's going to be physically demanding and super freaking important, right? So this is what tournaments are. So first things first, let's talk about mental preparation. When we're leading up to a game, it's common to have nerves. And this is okay, and this is perfectly normal. Now, what we do about those nerves is the difference between having a really great game leading up to our tournament and having a really shitty, horrific one that leaves you emotions rattled, emotionally depleted, coming into the game more stressed out than you should be, okay? So the week of your game or the week of your tournament, incorporating in some sort of a visualization practice, okay? This can be something that's done for you personally on your own, maybe each morning when you get up during what hopefully is your meditation practice or your movement in the morning practice. Take a couple of minutes, set a 3-minute timer on your phone, and just imagine yourself playing the most incredible game. Imagine how it's going to feel to score the points, just like I am. Close your eyes, hands in your lap, and really imagine it. See it not like you're watching it from the outside like a TV show, but see it like you're actually in it. Imagine yourself on the line. Who are you lined up with? Whistle blows, what do? Do you hold the jammer back? Do you score the points? And just run yourself through those scenarios over and over and over again for 3 minutes every single day. Because, fun fact, your brain doesn't know the difference between mental rehearsal and physical rehearsal. So what you're doing is you're actually getting in extra practice time. And instead of taking those times and focusing on failure, you're actually giving your body the feeling of success. Okay? So this is the first piece of it, mentally. Second, along with mental, is that you can be doing these same sort of practices as a team. Now, when I played for Angel City, this is something that we used to do before games, is we would sit down together and we would actually do group visualizations. And this is a great thing for you guys to do as a team leading up to like the end of a practice, at the beginning of a practice, right before a game, doing these sort of calming visualization exercises together, okay? The next piece of it is physical. So physically, when you're prepping for a tournament, the week leading up to it, this is a great week for a deload week. And what I mean by a deload week is don't go for your biggest lifts ever. Don't do the hardest workout you possibly could. If you just give yourself that week to rest, stretch, do a light workout, have a light practice, give your body time to recuperate and recover and heal and be ready and store all the nutrients that it needs so that when you come into the game, you feel rested. One of the worst things that you could do is you're like, oh, but I always work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you have a tournament on Saturday. My friend, do not fucking work out on Friday if you have a tournament on Saturday. Rest, chill out. I promise you those extra squats are not going to make you any stronger on the weekend. Okay, so have a deload week. Now, third, when it comes to nutrition is a really big one for tournaments because they are so long. But leading up to a tournament, I highly recommend just eating like a normal person. One of the biggest mistakes I see a lot of people make is they carb load. And the problem with carb loading is, one, to carb load properly, it takes about 2 weeks because you do a carbohydrate deplete and then you do a carbohydrate overfeed. But for roller derby, we actually don't play the kind of sport where you would need to access those kind of deeply depleted carb sources. So if anyone's telling you to carb load before your tournament, you're probably actually doing yourself a disservice, because if you're eating an excess of carbohydrates, what your body is going to do is store a whole bunch of water, which means your whole body is actually going to be anywhere between 3 and 8 pounds heavier. So that's like being like, oh, I got a tournament coming up. I think I'm going to wear an 8-pound weight vest during my tournament. That doesn't make any sense, does it? So remember, leading up to your game, lots of lean proteins, good healthy carbs, get those fats in there. It's a great week to avoid alcohol, unless you're like a really heavy drinker and it's going to put you in detox, maybe not. In which case, that's a whole other topic that we should talk about. But really striving to eat super clean, especially if you are someone who gets a little bit nervous and you get like emotional eating because you're nervous about your game. This is a really good week to be mindful of that and just be mindful of what is it that you're putting in your body. And then on the days of the tournaments, eating a great breakfast, having some snacks on hand. For me, my go-to is peanut butter and high protein tortillas. Like I make these little like protein peanut butter quesadillas. I'll have that and some apples and some bananas. And for me, tournament days, that's like pretty much all I eat because it's delicious. It keeps me full. I don't tend to eat a shitload of veggies on tournament days because then I've just got all this extra like fiber in my system. So for me, it's like I love me some high protein tortillas, peanut butter, a little banana, a little apple, call it good. Okay. So hopefully this is helpful, right? Because if you can really manage these 3 things leading up to a tournament, you're going to be in really great shape. The final piece of this is, how do you prep with your team in terms of strategy leading up to a tournament? Okay. Now, sometimes, the emotions are high that week leading up to a game, and it can feel like everybody's kind of yelling at each other. Everybody's a little stressed out. This is a really great week to run through the motions of drills, but not necessarily beat the shit out of each other, right? Take things back to like a 60 or 75% and run through, what do our plays look like? What do we do when this happens? What do we do when that happens? This is a really great scenarios week. Because if you can run through this stuff at about 75% and just run through it and run through it and run through it, you're still having that sort of mental preparation, just not necessarily doing it at speed. We always say, you play how you practice, but the week leading up to it, you actually want to give your body a little bit of rest. So hopefully this was helpful. I know we have so many tournaments coming up. I know we just finished a few, so congratulations to everyone whose teams went up in rankings. I heard that our head coach, Sin, and her team, Red Stick, did incredibly, had some big rankings changes and some very challenging games. inside of Cactus Cup, which was super cool. So congratulations, you guys. Congratulations to everyone who kicked ass at all of these tournaments, and super excited to see how the rest of you do as we move through the season towards champs. I'll see you guys later.